Hello, welcome back to the channel for the final watch along of the season. It's finally coming to an end. I've got a bad feeling about today's game as well. I don't think it's going to make for pretty reading. I predict a cricket score. I'm going to go 4-0 to Borough in this one. The Watford team is very interesting as well. It looks like we've gone for potentially a 5-4-1 formation, heavily influenced by midfielders and defenders. Not too many players who are capable of scoring goals in the team today, which is a concern. I think we've only scored 2 total goals in our last 6 games. Look, it's not good. I fear for Ed. And let's see what's going to happen. But in terms of Middlesbrough, they've got a few decent players in their team as well. Morgan Whittaker is someone who had a slow start to his Borough career. He's found really good form this season. Luke Ayling is getting on in his career, 34 years old now, but he's ever consistent at the back for them. They've got Callum Britton in there, Hansen, Sarmiento, a really, really exciting winger as well. So it's going to be a difficult test for Watford. I'm disappointed that Ed still hasn't given more academy players a go in this game. We've got Kayembe out of contract in a couple of weeks, yet he's still given the nod ahead of some of our other players. So very confused about today's 11. Let's see if it pays dividends. It's clearly going to be, from a Watford perspective, a sit back and try and take on the pressure and then counter-attack in our few opportunities to do so. For Borough, I mean, are they still in an automatic promotion race? Let's take a look at the Championship table. They're probably just out of it now, really, if we're honest. There's 2 games to go. Middlesbrough in second on 80 points. So look, it's very much doable for Middlesbrough. Ipswich look the favourites though. They have 2 games in hand on 79 points. But still very much a lot on the line for Borough today. If they win this, they could take it to the final day for the battle for second place and automatic promotion in the Championship. Aslan is here. He says Iran Kinder is going to score 2 today. That's if he makes the pitch. We'll discuss the Watford substitutes in a moment. Roberto is here as well. Hello, Roberto. Long time no speak. I hope you're doing very, very well. And congratulations on graduating from university. Jeffrey is here as well. Hello, James. Hello, Jeffrey. I hope you're well. And look, I'm not expecting loads of viewers today. The weather is very, very nice outside, and I'm sure you'd much rather be out enjoying that than watching Watford with me. But thanks for joining me if you are. And yeah, they've flashed up the starting 11 on the screen now. Really pleased for Bove to get another start, of course. I think it's right we give him more opportunities, given he'll be here next season. But I still don't understand the persistence with Luka Kiramgard. This is a guy whose record is something like, 2 or 3 goals in his last 24 Championship matches. That is not the record of a striker who you really want in your side. I think sometimes strikers complain about service, and Luka has done that quite a lot this season. But you do have to make your own chances as well. Morgan Whittaker today is a prime example of a player who can get the ball, run at centre-backs and get shots away on goal. And Luka is very much just kind of a fox in the box type for me. And I don't know. I'm not totally convinced on him moving into next season at the moment. Tony is here as well. Hello, Tony. I hope you're doing well. And yeah, Watford, for the last time this season, in the blue special edition Elton John shirt. I agree with you, Flash Wireless. I think for me, my mentality is I kind of want the last 2 games to go as badly as possible, just to reinforce as strongly as possible to Gino that the club requires not just another managerial sacking, because we know that's going to come anyway, but what we need to see in the summer is from top to bottom, a cultural reset of our entire footballing operations, how we operate in the transfer market, our due diligence when it comes to head coach appointments. There's much more than that I could discuss, but I think from top to bottom, if Gino is to stay on as owner, which is very likely, if he wants to get the fans back on side, there has to be a complete reset and a complete overhaul of the backroom staff, the coaching setup. At times it feels like we've got a mismatch of kind of backroom coaches from different setups. So yeah, for me, we just need to tear everything apart and start again. It's going to be a long process to get Watford back to the Premier League. We are underway. Let's get the timer started. The match live on Sky Sports Plus this afternoon in the UK, which is good. Tom says hoping for a Watford goal. Oh, I hope so as well. It's not looked likely in recent weeks, Tom, but fingers crossed we'll have something to cheer about today. And already Eduardo Bove playing quite advanced here. It's just going to take me a few minutes to work out kind of what formation we're playing at Middlesbrough today. A credit to everyone that has gone, of course, as well. A long old journey. I know there was a few train cancellations this morning as well, and look, it's very expensive to use public transport in this country now. So for those Watford fans that have gone, they are the proper kind of hardcore, dedicated home and away fans week in, week out. Here is Bove on the ball, heavily congested in the middle of the pitch for Watford at the moment. Luka Kiramgard, the sole attacker up front at the moment. And yeah, it looks very much like Head still has set up to not concede rather than to score loads of goals. I mean, if I just go on FOTMob here and take a look at our substitutes bench. Gogla Cheetse is there, Georgie Shatfatatse, Jack Greaves, Kwadwo Bar, Iran Kunda, Othmane Mama, Mamadou Doumbia. It's a very, very strong bench. So, I assume the plan from Ed is to really soak up as much pressure as possible, get to half time maybe, and then make a few changes to wear Borough down after the interval. But let's see if it works. Only time will tell. He should be captain, surely. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. Flash Wireless, Matty Pollock. Look, he's not the most talented of players. I'm sure he would agree with me if he heard me say that. But as I said, I'd rather have 11 Matty Pollocks in my Watford team than 11 Kayembes or 11 Luka Kiramgards. If a player is vocal and wants to fight for the shirt, that's all I ask for, really. If you put in 100% effort each week and we still lose, that doesn't concern me too much. It's more the body language of the players in the past couple of months, the lack of effort, not going over to the fans at times after games. That's what frustrates me more. Absolutely. Hopefully Pollock will be captain next season. Prediction on Liverpool Palace. I've not had a look at the Premier League games this weekend, actually. If you let me know what the Premier League games are, I'll do some predictions for you. I think Tottenham are playing this afternoon. Is that right? So, let me know what the Prem games are. And I'll run through each one and do some predictions. Middlesbrough dominating possession at the moment. Here's Whittaker. He goes down. Referee gives a foul. Imran Loser. And hopefully this referee isn't too card heavy. The West Brom game. I watched that during the week, of course. Every time a foul was committed by a Watford All Baggies player, the referee got a yellow card out straight away. It was so frustrating to watch. I do enjoy football more when the referees just let challenges go, let the game flow. Hopefully this will be one of those. Or Spurs Wolves. A massive win for Forest last night. A 5-0 victory over Sunderland. Look, I hope Tottenham lose. I'm not going to lie. I'd love to go to Spurs away again next season. So, yeah, I'll go 2-1 Wolves for that game. And then prediction on Liverpool Palace. I'll go 1-1 Liverpool Palace. Ethan, hello buddy. Hope you're good. Hi James, what do you think about the formation change? Well, there is a corner here for Middlesbrough, so let's watch that first. Watford aren't good at set pieces. The ball comes in towards the penalty area. Egil Selvik punches away. And it looks like Eduardo Bove's committed a foul here. Yeah, thoughts on the formation. Generally, I just think it's quite negative from Ed still. I mean, there's nothing to play for from a Watford perspective, right? So just why not put our kind of more flary, attacking, exciting players on the pitch? I'd like to see a bit more involvement from the academy again. There's no Nabazada in the matchday squad, so quite disappointed, Ethan, to be honest with you, in the formation. It just looks like Watford are going to accept that we will be under lots of pressure in this first half. Of course, there's options now on the bench to bring on if we go a goal behind, but that's just a negative mindset in my opinion. So yeah, not that happy with the formation. Oh, it's a goal. What a free kick. And Watford are 1-0 down already. Morgan Whittaker, exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. Eduardo Bove gives away the free kick. Kim Hellberg in the Borough dugout is loving that. And Whittaker puts Borough ahead. I mean, what did we expect? What did we expect? Let's get the score changed. I can't believe this. It's a complete joke. What has our club become? What has our club become? It's ridiculous. Just watching the replay here. I mean, the wall jump. It's an excellent free kick. Look, the goal is spectacular. I'm not going to take anything away from that. But it just feels like we've got no luck going our way at the moment. What a free kick. What a strike. You know, maybe Selvik could do better. It's not, you know, a super powerful strike. I think he has time to set himself and make a save. But it is into kind of that far top corner. And Watford go a goal behind here at Middlesbrough already, just 5 minutes in. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Here's Eduardo Bove on the ball. Non-police Mendy now. Kayembe. And Middlesbrough win back possession. Tom over in Australia. Turn it off, Tom. Turn it off. Go and do something else. Hello, James and all. Hoping you are well. I am good, Tom. Well, I say I'm good. The weather in the UK is very nice. But yeah, the football Watford are playing isn't great. And this is why the formation was an issue to begin with. Because we've gone behind so early on. We're 1 goal down now. And our only real attacker on the pitch is Luka Kiramgard. It's a bit ridiculous, to be honest with you. Oh, here is Luka actually. Into Kayembe, surely. Oh, it's a terrible miss by Kayembe. Usually from those positions, you would back him to at least hit the target. So Watford win the ball back. Bove does well. Luka into Kayembe on his left foot. And it's a terrible strike from Kayembe. Rushed. He's not really under too much pressure either. And he sends it wide of the post. Frustrating. George is here. Hello, George. Hope you're good. Flash Wireless says, obviously, Sarr will score. The other Premier League games, Arsenal, Newcastle. You know what? I think Arsenal will bottle the league, actually. I've just got a feeling that... you know, after leading for so long, I do think they'll bottle it towards the end of the season. So I'll actually go, I'll go 2-1 Newcastle. Everton, West Ham, I'll go 1-1. And then Fulham, Aston Villa, what will I go with in that one? I'll go 2-1 Villa in that game. I think Villa are a good side. Oh, a chance for Luka on his left foot, comfortably saved by the Middlesbrough goalkeeper. We certainly have conceded a few free kicks, George. It's just a running theme. Free kicks, set pieces and corners. That's been our downfall this year, unfortunately. Watford are putting Borough under a little bit of pressure just in the last couple of minutes, trying to press a bit higher, which is good to see. Um, Greg Fika, pathetic Watford. You're not wrong, Greg. It's abhorrent, really. I feel for all the fans that have travelled today. Yeah, it's not good at all. And also, Greg, as well, I'd love to get your thoughts on the formation today. It just seemed to me so negative from the outset because Watford have gone behind within 5 minutes, and we've only got Luka Kiramgard as the real sole attacker on the pitch. So yeah, for me, I'm not impressed at all with Ed Still lately. He's almost digging his own grave, actually, Ed Still. I don't think he's helping himself at times. I really like him. He speaks very well in press conferences. But even still, he has to do better as a head coach. And these players have to do better as well. I know we put all the blame on Gino and on Scott Duxbury and Juan Lucanani, and that absolutely should be the case, don't get me wrong. But also, as I mentioned in my last video, there has to be a sense of professional pride within this group. And for the last couple of months, they just haven't had that, which is a real shame for those fans who are spending their money week in, week out to watch this dross. The Hornets' house, this really could be a cricket score. Amazing free kick. Look, it was a good strike. Morgan Whittaker has been in good form in the second half of this season. But it was, it was a silly free kick to give away. I think it was Bove with the foul initially. It was from quite a distance out as well. But yeah, what a strike from Whittaker. A good goal. Jono says all going to plan. Well, I don't know if you're a Watford or Borough fan, Jono, but yeah, it's not going to plan for us this afternoon. Honestly, I don't think we score another goal this season. I mean, I'd be shocked if we got a sniff against Coventry at Vicarage Road. Yeah, it's a real shame it's ended up this way yet again for what feels like the 4th year running now. And let me just read you the Watford substitutes bench again for those that are just tuning in. We've got Nathan Baxter, Saba Goglachitse, and this is where it gets interesting. We've got kind of 4 real attackers on the bench in Georgie Shatfatatse, Kwadwo Bar, Nestri Irankunda, and Othmane Mama, Tom Ince, and Doumbia are there as well. Yeah, it just feels like a real negative 11 from Ed Still. Here's Luka Kiramgard, a good ball from Kayembe. Kayembe keeps it in play. The lino says it's gone out, and that'll be a Borough goal kick. 12 minutes gone here. Look, we are having half chances. Kayembe's finding himself in a lot of space at times here as Middlesbrough commit more bodies forwards. But it just feels like, everything is going against us as a club. And that's what happens when you're towards the bottom end of the table. Those decisions that would normally go for you go against you. And it's kind of an endless rut of negativity, which is, really frustrating. I agree, Greg. I absolutely agree. You're spot on. There's nothing to play for. Why not have Bar, Irankunda, and Othmane Mama all on the pitch together? We've very rarely seen that at Watford this season, having kind of a fully fit squad ready to go. Bar Rocco Vata and Hector Cipriani, Greg, we've got everyone available today. So for me, there should be, no excuses in regards to kind of our performance level. Yeah, again, George. I mean, you're all speaking common sense in the chat today. George says, I think Ed is here, so basically Gino can hide behind him and blame the culture of the club as he tried to invigorate the young players. Yeah, look, Ed for me, I mean, I'm shocked Ed's not been sacked already. I will say that, given Gino's track record. But he's there currently as the fall guy, right? For the final couple of games, Ed still is there to take all the flack away from the ownership. Now, I'm interested to know what they'll say when Ed Still is eventually dismissed. But yeah, for the last couple of games, as far as I'm concerned, Ed Still is there purely as the fall guy, unfortunately for him. I've got no doubts that in 5 or 10 years' time, he'll go on to have a really good managerial career within the professional game. But I just think we've got such a toxic culture and work environment at the club at the moment that no manager could succeed here. I think you could bring in Mourinho, Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, and they'd all struggle to work within kind of the confines of this ownership model. So yeah, it's not. Look, Ed still can do much better. He's made mistakes. He's making mistakes as I sit here and watch this match today. But the blame shouldn't really be on him. His inexperience has been brought into a situation which is kind of way above his head, in my opinion. I think all your energy should be directed towards those at the top. Richard Lee, hello Richard, hope you are good. Afternoon James, not a good start. Hopefully we can turn things around. Loving the positivity, Richard. But it's really hard to stay positive at the moment. It is hard. But, don't let football ruin your weekend. When I was a bit younger, when I was 15, 16, and Watford lost the match, I'd get very, very angry and it would ruin my week. But to be honest, I've kind of changed my mindset now where once the game is finished, the weather's lovely outside today. As soon as I finish with you this afternoon, I'll be outside enjoying the sunshine. So, don't worry about it too much. Next season we start again, potentially with another new man in the dugout. Think about next season in August when we get there. For me, just enjoy your summer, forget about Watford for a bit, and don't worry too much. Richard would be my message to you. Flash Wireless says, bring Liam Rosignor in. I don't think Gino would do that. I don't think Gino likes young British head coaches. We saw that Rob Edwards and Tom Cleverley were appointed as project managers. And then, very quickly, as soon as shit hits the fan, they are dismissed by those at the top. So, no, I don't think Liam Rosignor would take the Watford job, Flash Wireless. But I like your thinking anyway. Here's Mark Boller into Bove, edge of the box. Borough clear. 17 minutes gone here. Greg says, play the kids. Why not? At least they will care. I hear young George Eames is a great prospect at right back. We haven't had a fit fullback for weeks. Why hasn't he had a chance? Again, Greg, you're spot on. I don't disagree with what you've said. I think for me, when we get to this point of the season and there's nothing to play for, what have we got to lose? Why not play Jack Greaves from the start? Jack Greaves put in a really good performance in the FA Cup, and we've not seen him since for a variety of reasons. Eames, you mentioned as well. Here is Luca. And he misses again. Luca Kiramgard, loads of time and space in the box. The ball falls to him really nicely. He gets it on his left foot and he puts it wide. I mean, we can't complain at the lack of chances so far. Terrible finishing from Luca once again. Look, Nabazada, Greg, as well. Where's Amin Nabazada today, for example, as well? He seems to have disappeared from the squad. So, yeah, I think you're spot on, really. Yeah, Flash Wireless, we've apparently been interested in him for a while, if you're to believe certain accounts on social media. Look, he's Italian. I'm sure Gino Pozzo would like to bring him in, but I think he's probably looking for a club a bit bigger than Watford. When you look at Gattuso's track record and who he's managed in recent years, I don't think Watford would be particularly high on his list of teams he'd want to come into. So, yeah, it's a good shout for a name. And I think he would work better with Gino, but I can't see it happening personally. Yeah, that's happening in a couple of weeks, Richard, so best of luck for that. What country are you representing, by the way, Richard? I don't think you've mentioned yet. Here's Loser with the shot, and again, just goes just wide of the Borough goal. We're having half chances here. Watford are finding themselves in quite a bit of space when Middlesbrough commit bodies forwards. Tom says, do we bring in Neil Warnock to manage the ship? Do we bring in Neil Warnock? Probably not, Tom. Probably not. Where's Warnock at the moment? I thought Warnock had gone and taken another job in the second half of the season. Was it Torquay United? Am I wrong in saying that Neil Warnock was at Torquay United lately? Let's have a look. Yeah, Torquay United as the caretaker manager, Neil Warnock. You know what? Look, whilst he's probably never going to get the job right, Neil Warnock, what he would do is speak the truth. And that's what I liked most about Chris Wilder when he was at Watford for his short time. He didn't really care what Gino Pozzo had to say, Chris Wilder. He spoke the truth. He was very honest and transparent with the fans. And that went a long way, actually, in revealing a lot about what was happening behind the scenes. So I'd love a manager to come in and do that again. I'd love Ed Steele to do that at some point as well. If Ed Steele knows now he's leaving after Coventry, come out and spill the beans. Ed Steele said there were several first-team players late to training. Well, come out and tell us who they are. I'd love to know who these players are. Let's not kind of hide them away and forget it ever happened. I think the fans have a right to know when these situations happen. Oh no, I wouldn't like Roy Hodgson again. Flash Wireless, not at all. Although, to be fair, he's doing well at Bristol City. I mean, he looks really old now, Roy. But yeah, he's got Bristol clicking again by all accounts. Here's Kayembe. I tell you what, Kayembe's probably been the standout player so far for Watford in this first half. He's finding himself in quite a lot of space, especially down this left-hand side. Richard says they're representing Jamaica, the Reggae Boys. The kits have arrived and look really good. You know what? I do love the Jamaica national team kit. I might have to pick one up at some point. And yeah, that's in a couple of weeks. The WD18 Mental Health World Cup. If you are new around here as well, don't forget to subscribe. I really would appreciate it. You can do so by clicking the button down below. It's our live match watch along of this season, but it's not going to be our last live stream in the summer. I'll be here, I'm sure, nearly every week talking to you about the latest Watford news, and of course we'll be covering the transfer window as well and any news that comes with that. So the coverage doesn't stop once the season's over. We'll still be here on a regular basis covering all of the latest Watford FC news. Ryan says, good afternoon, James. Good afternoon, Ryan. Hope you're well. Yes, Selvik taking a big risk there. He's under a little bit of pressure. Nearly gave the ball away, but yeah, he got away with it in the end. I'll be at the Coventry game. You know, I paid my season ticket, so I will see the season out. Usually, I do stay for the lap of honour they do. I stay for the end of season awards, but even for me as one of the more positive fans, I don't think I can take staying this year, especially with the Coventry City promotion celebrations that will ensue on full time. I just don't think it's worth me sticking around at Vicarage Road for another 15 or 20 minutes. I'd rather, go back into the town centre and have a wander around than sit in the stadium and applaud, this subpar group of players. So, yeah, I'll be at the stadium. But yeah, I don't think I'll stick around for the full-time antics. And look, I'm sure there'll be a lot of Coventry fans in the home end as well. The club are probably doing what they can to mitigate against that, but yeah, look, I'm sure they'll find ways to get in. Sarmiento here, ball into the box, and Bola chest back into the hands of Egil Selvik. Sarmiento is someone I would love at Watford, a really tricky winger for most fullbacks to take on. Ryan says, who should replace Ed Steele as manager when he gets sacked? For me, it's kind of a pointless discussion, right? Because I could come up with 4 or 5 names for you right now as to who I want to take over. But it's pointless me doing so. As I said, Watford could hire the best manager in world football. Alonso, Xavi, Ancelotti could come in. None of these managers would succeed at Watford. Within 2 or 3 months, there would always be a falling out between them and the ownership. And, it's a recurring issue now. It's not a one-off situation that happened years ago. It's happening 2 or 3 times a season consistently for years and years and years. So there's not actually a name I would give you as to who should be the successor to Ed Steele, because in my humble opinion, I don't think anyone in its current iteration could succeed at the club, and I think that's a real shame. So, Bove does well. He wins Watford a free kick in quite a similar distance, actually, from where Morgan Whittaker scored. It's probably a bit more central in the goal. Imran Louza standing over it. Of course, he did score a good free kick away at QPR, Imran Louza, a few weeks ago. Can he bag another here? 27 minutes gone. Imran Louza and our Italian Bove standing over it. Can they get Watford back on level terms? Here we go. I'd like Bove to take this on, actually, for a change. Louza takes it. Oh, and it's just wide again. I tell you what, we haven't got our shooting boots on today. Every shot we've had has just been that, just a couple of inches wide of the post. Decent attempt from Imran, though. Trying to curl it to the right of the goalkeeper. And it's not bad. It's almost like a reverse strike in the end from Imran. But yeah, just wide of the post, unfortunately. I did publish on social media yesterday just a clip of an interview that Imran Louza did with Sky Sports talking about his performances this season. It's about 2 minutes long. So if you're bored of this game, I would urge you to go and check that out. I thought it was a good listen, actually, and very insightful as to how Louza thinks his season has gone as well. Okay, Watford with a corner. Can we capitalise on a set piece for once? Here we go. Louza standing over it. It's going to be an outswinger by the looks of it. And all our big centre-backs are in the box now. Matt is there. Abankwah is there as well. Can someone get ahead on this? And Borough just about get away with it. Now looking to counter-attack. And it's a 3v2 here. This is a dangerous situation. It's a 2v1 for Borough. Oh, and that's good defending by Watford. We just about got away with that. And, yeah, Middlesbrough should have capitalised on that situation, really. From Watford's corner, to a Borough counter-attack. That happened within the space of about 5 seconds. And here they come again. Ball into the box. Selvik claims. George says, big summer ahead. Will we finally apply a structured, consistent identity and workplace approach, or carry on throwing things at the wall and hoping something works? Here's Luka Kiramgard. Good hold-up play, actually. Here's Bove. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, George. I think that's the best we can hope for as Watford fans. But in terms of the actual reality of the situation and who's in charge, I think that's going to be a stretch. The referee plays a good advantage, actually. Watford commit a foul, Middlesbrough run forward, and thankfully he's not pulled it back, the referee. Good ref, this one. He's not stopping and starting the game every 2 minutes, which is good. He's letting it flow. And I have to say, I don't think we've been terrible. We've not been as bad as I thought, given the formation I saw before the game and the players that are on the pitch. But it's still disappointing to not see, Nestri, Othmane Mama, Georgie Bar. We want to see them on the pitch. What have we got to lose? I'd rather lose this match 4-3 than 1-0. The travelling fans want to see goals. They want to see value for money. They want to be excited watching their football team. And yeah, I just think Ed still kind of has to go for the jugular now, really. Why not? He's got nothing to lose. He's leaving the club anyway, as far as we're all concerned. So, yeah, I still find the approach to this game a bit odd. But, hopefully I'm proven wrong in the second half. 15 minutes to go in the first 45. Watford knocking it about quite comfortably. Middlesbrough just sitting off slightly here. Headed clear by Matty. Loser picks it up. Here's non-police Mendy into Bove. Bove plays a lovely ball through to Luka Kiramgard. Oh, Luka hits the post. What a bit of play that was. A lovely ball in behind from Eduardo Bove. And Luka Kiramgard should have scored, really. Hits the post. It's unlucky. He's had a few chances this game, Luka Kiramgard. He can't complain at the lack of service today. He's getting time, he's getting space, he's running in behind, he's looking sharp. He just needs to stick the ball away, Luka. Here's Ngakia on the right-hand side playing as a wing-back today. Cuts inside, Kayembe spreads out to Mark Boller. Boller back to Kevin Caben. Kayembe with a nice inside ball. Middlesbrough pick up possession again. Kevin Caben has it back for Watford now. Here's Boller. Back to Caben. Come on, Watford, let's go forward. There's chances in this for us. There really is. Here's Matty. And just to reiterate my score prediction, I went for a 4-0 Middlesbrough win. So, yeah, I'm not a betting man, but that is still on as it stands if they find their shooting boots, Middlesbrough, in the second half. Here's Kayembe. Again, loads of space and Mark Boller here. Can he get the delivery in? It goes over everyone's heads. And it's kept in play by Watford. Kayembe shoots, blocked. Here's Morgan Whittaker looking to find a way out. And I tell you what, this is a good spell for Watford. Probably our best spell of the game from when Luca hit the post. I mean, that's been the story of the season, Greg. We can't defend, and then when we do get chances up the other end, as you say, we can't finish our dinner. So yeah, frustrating. I think he will stay Flash Wireless. Mark Boller has signed a long-term contract. We got him on a free transfer. I think if Watford maybe received kind of a £5 million offer, they would obviously consider taking that. We are a selling club as it stands. Ultimately, we need to sell players to keep the lights on. But yeah, I think Mark Boller will stay for another season. I wouldn't worry too much about him. I think Imran Loser will go, obviously. And I think Othmane Mama probably will as well, depending on the money that's floating around him. And if he goes to the World Cup with Morocco too, that could increase his price tag. So yeah, I think the only two certains for me are Mama and Loser. Every other player is up for debate. I think Kwadwo Bar probably wants to leave Watford for his own good. That's probably what he's thinking. But are any clubs really going to be interested in him, given his injury record and his form and, you know, perceived attitude problems this season? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we'll see the mass exodus we all expect. Where does Mama go? I could see Mama going back to France potentially to I don't know, maybe just trying to think really. Like a Marseille, a Paris FC, for example. Kind of the top 5 French teams I could see Othmane Mama going to. I think in Spain he would do quite well too. It's quite a slower pace of football in La Liga, and with Mama's pace, explosiveness, skills on the ball, I think could do quite well in La Liga. So yeah, the French or Spanish league is where I could see Mama going. The problem with the Spanish league is, bar the top 2 or 3 clubs, the Madrids and the Barcelonas, there's not much money over there really. You know, the Championship, actually, most Championship clubs outspend La Liga. Fun facts for you. So yeah, if he's not going to go to kind of the top 2 or 3 teams in Spain, I think more likely for Mama would be a move back to France. Here's Bove, Loser now. Nice touch from Loser. He's driving forward here. We need Luca to make a run. Loser cuts back inside. We're just on the halfway line here at the moment. He's waiting for supporting bodies. And that's a lovely lofted ball out wide to Edu Kayembe from Imran Loser. Non-police Mendy. Ngakia. He's inside the pitch at the moment. Loser. Here's Bove. He's had a good game so far. And Bove just overhits that pass. Him and Imran not quite on the same wavelength there. But nice play. Look. We're losing. It was a great strike from the free kick. It was a silly foul to give away. But actually, on the balance of play, I think we've had the better chances in this game. I'm not too dissatisfied actually with the performance. If we forget about all of the previous defeats for a moment and just take this match into isolation, I don't think it's been too bad. But when you add it into the previous results and the general morale, can't get my words out, around the club at the moment, that's where fans, you know, rightly find the issue. ET says, what will happen with Luca Kirumgard? A lot of people get confused around Luca, but I just want to make it very clear. So he's on loan from Udinese with an obligation to buy. So we haven't got an option to buy him. We have an obligation, which means Watford have to go through with the purchase this summer. We haven't got an option to not do. So yeah, regardless of what happens, Luca Kirumgard, you know, will be a Watford player next season. Now, he might not be first choice next year. We'll have to see what they do in the summer when it comes to strikers. But yeah, we have an obligation to buy Luca. So I don't know what that price is set at. Maybe it's €1 million, maybe it's €5 million. I don't know. Ultimately, transactions between Udinese and Watford are just moving money around. But yeah, we do have an obligation to buy rather than an option. I think Semedo will probably be loaned out next season. It wouldn't surprise me if Doumbia, as much as I like Mamadou, the club might look to loan him out next season as well and bring in hopefully a more experienced pro up front. Luke Ayling with a speculative shot from distance. He forces Egil Selvit to the ground and into a save. A decent strike from Luke Ayling. It takes a slight deflection off a Watford defender as well. I think it might be Kevin Caben that it comes off. And Borough here have another corner which Watford have to be wary of. Bangura, Ayling, Whittaker, all in the penalty area. Callum Britton spreads out wide. Middlesbrough looking to get the ball back in the area. Mark Boller, of course, as well, coming up against his previous club today in Middlesbrough. He was there for a couple of years. And Callum Britton, strike from distance, goes wide, and Egil Selvik has a goal kick. Is there interest for another striker? Not that I've heard of so far. I think it's a little bit too early to be hearing about rumours. I think once the season has finished, give it a couple of weeks, and then the rumour mill will definitely come into force. But yeah, I don't think there'll be too much until after Coventry. You know what, Mark? You say maybe a return of Keenan Davis, and maybe you're being sarcastic there. I don't know. I can't read your mind. But I like Keenan Davis. His hold-up play was probably some of the best I've seen in a Watford shirt, actually. And he's doing very well for Udinese this season. It looks like he's put his injury struggles behind him. I know he was dealing with a knee issue when he was at Watford. And yeah, look, I would absolutely take Keenan Davis back if that was a possibility. Will it happen? I don't think so. I think it's more likely that Bio might make a return personally. So yeah, look, Mark, I'd love Davis back, but I don't think it's going to happen. That's just an opinion. It's not something I've been told. Oh. Headed clear by Watford. Since the free kick was scored, they've actually dealt with the majority of their set pieces pretty well. It's just a silly foul to give away, wasn't it? We've been doing it all season. Here's Sarmiento taking on Imran Loser. He cuts back inside. Cuts in again on his left foot this time. James Abankwa clears. And Middlesbrough keep it in play, looking to apply the pressure and get a second before half-time. And they need a win here, Borough, remember, to stay in the race for automatic promotion. Hopefully take it to the final day. Sam says, what position do I think Watford need to buy in the summer? What position? Can I say every position, Sam? What's the priority position for Watford? I think a centre-back, so another quality, experienced Championship centre-back to partner Matty Pollock is a priority. That's what I'd love to see first and foremost. And then, of course, we have to solve our issues at the other end of the pitch, right? We need to score goals. We need a consistent goal scorer who can bag. You at least need a striker who can get you 15 a season, really, in this division. So yeah, centre back to partner Matty. A striker, a proper striker, experienced pro, someone in their late 20s, early 30s. And then, who else? What else do I want? I mean, E.T. has said here he doesn't rate Selvik. I don't know. I think we've got to get another midfielder in as well. Kayembe is on his way out. We don't know what the future lines for Non-Police Mendy either. Pierre Ekwa is a lone player as well. So, yeah, I'd go a defender for Matty, a proper striker, and then, yeah, like a box-to-box midfielder is what I would do. He'd never come to us, Toure. If anything, Beaver, it's more likely Iran Kunda goes to Norwich than Toure come to us. Yeah, what a striker, what a player. Goodbye from Norwich, that. And it's 2-0. 2-0 to Borough. Strelic scores. Again, it's not good defending from Watford, really. I'll need to watch this back in the replay. Let's get the score changed. Oh, so the ball comes out to the right-hand side. Whittaker on it. Looking to take on Kayembe. Whittaker, a lovely run in behind. And yeah, it's just poor from Watford, really. Not tracking our runners. I mean, who was that on Strelic originally? I think it was James Abankwa potentially there. Yeah, Abankwa not strong enough. Watford 2-0 down. You know, we're on for my score prediction. I said 4-0. So we're halfway there. Hooray, hooray. I'm being sarcastic, obviously. Look, there's not much I can say. I'm past the point of anger. I'm not that sad anymore. I just want this season over and done with, really. Middlesbrough 2, Watford 0. At the Riverside. And the referee has called half-time actually there as well. So let's get the timer stopped. Oh, dear. Honestly, I don't know what to say anymore. Look, I think, look, if I'm being honest, right, and I take my feelings out of it, when we look at the match in isolation, forgetting about the previous form, we're coming up against a very good side. They're in the hunt for second position. And actually, we've had plenty of opportunities to score. Kayembe's had a couple. Bove had one. Lusa had a free kick just wide. Luka Kiramgar should have scored. So, you know, if we had our shooting boots on another day, maybe we get back into this game. But I just feel, given everything that's happened prior to this, over the past weeks, months and years, that nothing's going to go our way, right? I can't see Watford getting back into this one. I can't see us scoring another goal again this season, personally. Free Tube, you're right. We played pretty well, actually, on the whole, but we're still losing 2-0 at half-time. But there's not much more I can say, right? We've had the chances to score. Middlesbrough have took theirs, and that's why they're towards the top end of the championship table. They're competing for automatic promotion. Watford were in that spot around Christmas. We were in 4th position under Javi Gracia and looking upwards rather than downwards. And now, you know, 4 or 5 months later, we are facing the prospect of kind of a relegation fight next season if nothing changes. So, yeah, I mean, all this game has done really is just concern me more about the future of our football club. Mark says, would I like to sign Scott Twine? He's a quality player. I'd love to, but the board would never sign a player like him, because if you sign Scott Twine on, let's say, a 4-year contract and you keep him until the end of that contract, you know, where's the resale value? If we buy Scott Twine for, I don't know, £5 million, you know, there's not the potential resale value in a couple of years to make a profit on him. We are always going to continue down the same road of buying low, buying cheap, and buying potential. And then hopefully one of those players turns into a gem like a Kone, like an Espria, like a Pedro. And then they reap the rewards of that. What we're frustrated about as fans is the subsequent investment after these huge sales. We have large debts that need to be serviced that are owed to Gino Pozzo. He rightly, as the owner, wants his money to be repaid. And that's why there hasn't been much investment. We might spend a million here, a million there, but that's about it. We're never going to spend, I don't feel at the moment, 10 or 15 million pounds in a championship transfer window. There's nothing for Gino Pozzo to gain from that. He's in this, in my opinion, for the long haul. I think Gino Pozzo would rather Watford be a championship club for the next 5 to 10 years and recoup his money via player sales than spending loads in one season in the hope of a Premier League promotion. Now, I've discussed this before as well. With the new rules coming into the championship next season and being able to finish in the top 8, that's only going to increase owner funding and more so owner volatility. The risk taken from owners next season is going to be even greater because as it stands currently, the top 6 teams make it into the playoffs. Now, from next season onwards, it's going to be the top 8, which means pretty much for the whole season, bar the bottom end teams, everyone is going to be in a playoff battle. So if you think Watford is a circus currently, can you imagine if we're, let's say, in 10th position with 4 games to go next season? It's going to be crazy, really, what Gino Pozzo is going to be thinking. Melanie is here. Hello all, just dropping by to say hello. Off to see Hitch in town this afternoon. An undeserved 2-0 scoreline for the Orns. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, and I hope you enjoy watching Hitchin. Melanie, you've probably made the right decision there. Hemel Hempstead, my local side, are playing today as well in the National League South. I think if they win, Hemel Hempstead, they secure the playoffs for them, which is very, very exciting indeed. Flash Wireless says Watford are the championship Chelsea. Yeah, I mean, there's similarities there. Of course, you've got Blueco, who own Chelsea. They also own Strasbourg as well. So that's a multi-club model. The difference is with Chelsea, they have a lot of money, but they spend it badly. Watford don't have a lot of money, and the money we do have, we still spend badly. So, yeah, I suppose that's a good comparison, really. Chelsea are a much, much richer version of Watford Football Club and that multi-ownership model. Greg says, this is the most dislikable group of players that I have ever seen at Watford FC in 40 years of supporting. We were crap throughout the majority of the 90s, but at least they cared. Well, Greg, with no disrespect to you, I am, of course, a much younger fan. I started supporting Watford during kind of... just before Gino Pozzo took over, really, was when I started going regularly. I was taken when I was much younger than that, kind of back in 2004, 2005. But I don't remember those matches vividly. My favourite Watford teams were kind of the Matthew Connolly's, Forestieri, Mate Vidra, Odi Nagalo. That was my favourite group of players. The Ben Watsons of this world, Adlin Guadiora. That was a very, very likeable group. And I look at this group, Greg, and you're not wrong. They are very dislikable. It's very much a team of individuals rather than a collective. And that's what you get with the culture, right? When you are a club whose main objective is to buy players and then sell them for a profit, that's what you're going to get, right? You are going to get on days. You're going to get off days. Some players might be great one week. The next week, they might fall off a cliff. You are buying inconsistency. And with that, you are also buying risk. You're buying egos. And you are buying young players who might not quite be at the right level for Watford. So, you're not wrong in anything you say. I think everyone in chat today actually has been pretty spot on with their opinions. Look, there's players I like at the club. Mark Boller, I think, is a good guy, and from what I gather behind the scenes, he is a great pro to be around. Hector Kipriani is the same behind the scenes, from what I understand and from what I'm told. He really galvanizes the group. The same can be said for Matty as well. But I've only picked out 3 players there. This is a squad full of 25, 26 players. And 3 players, can't carry a whole team. It has to be, a group effort, a group fight. And we've just not shown that at all in recent weeks. I'm just going to shoot off for a couple of minutes for a quick toilet break. And then I'll be back for the second 45. I think in conclusion, we don't deserve, well, we do deserve to be behind, of course we do, but I think it's a better performance from Watford than the scoreline suggests. I think if we had more clinical players on another day, maybe we are in this game a bit more comfortably. But yeah, we've not had our day for a very, very long time now. So I'll be back in a moment as we look ahead to the second half. Oh, hello, hello, hello. I have returned. I have returned refreshed, hydrated, and ready to go for the second half. Um, Look, if Watford fail to score today, I think that's something like 2 total goals in the last 7 games. I think it would be 5 defeats in 7 as well. So the record, suggests that Ed Steele's tenure is only going one way, and that is out of the door. But as I said, before I left for halftime, I think the performance today, actually, when you take it in isolation, isn't terrible. I've seen good build-up play. I think Bove, Kayembe, and Luka Kiramgard have had pretty good games as individual players. Defensively, we do struggle. We conceded another free kick. It was a very good one at that, but it was still a free kick nonetheless. And then the second goal as well, it was just great interplay down the right-hand side, not tracking our runners, and a good near post finish. That's how I would summarise the first half. I think Watford were fine. I don't think we were terrible. It certainly wasn't at the level of like an Oxford away, for example, or other games you could use. I think we've been a better side today. The problem is we've just not been great for so many weeks now that fans are just becoming increasingly frustrated and disillusioned with the project. Look, I'm sure the players have all booked their holidays, whether that's to the Caribbean, America, Ibiza, the Maldives. I hope they do go and enjoy their holidays. It's just I don't know. I'm just kind of fed up now. I mean, maybe I'm on the beach as a fan. Maybe because I don't care anymore, I'm on the beach as well. Looking ahead to the second half, we're just waiting for Watford to come back out of the tunnel. It doesn't look like at first glance there is any changes immediately. So it looks like an unchanged Watford 11. Got good music pumping at the riverside. Oh, have a stretch. Max says, I've given up on Watford. Boreham Wood, much more exciting to watch. I don't blame you. There seems to be a few of you in here today who are making the trips to their local non-league grounds instead, which is absolutely fair enough. I would actually much rather at the moment you spend your money at local sides closer to you than giving Gino Pozzo more money in his pocket. Look, I've renewed my season ticket. I'll sit here and admit that. I enjoy the social aspect of football. So that's why I want to continue going. But in terms of other spending, I've not brought any kits this season. I've not spent any money on food or drink in the concourses either. I've purely paid for my season ticket. And that's it, because it gets me out of the house. I enjoy watching Watford. I want to support the team. And I enjoy meeting up with friends as well. So that's why I've personally taken the decision to renew. It's not up to me though to dictate to you as to what you should do. If you want to renew, you can renew. If you don't want to, you don't have to. That's totally down to you. If you don't want to buy the shirts, don't buy the shirts. If you want to protest, feel free to protest. I'm not going to stop you. The loudest tool that we all have though is our voice, and whether you use that under Watford social media posts, whether you use that outside the ground or within the ground, make your feelings clear towards the ownership. If you are unhappy, make it loud, make it uncomfortable for them. It's not illegal to speak out against the ownership within the ground, as long as you're within the realms of the UK law. You can do as you so please. So I would encourage you as much as possible to make your displeasure known to those at the top. We have kicked off for the second half. It's Middlesbrough 2, Watford 0 at the Riverside. 45 minutes of football to go. It would be nice to get a consolation goal of some kind, at least for those fans that have travelled today. How do I rate Iran Kun this season? Says SC. How would I rate Iran Kun this season? He's been very hit and miss. I don't know. I mean, can I give him a rating out of 10? I would, if I was to give Iran Kunda a rating, it would probably be a 6 out of 10, 5.5, 6 out of 10. Has had some very, very good games. Has also had some really, really terrible games as well. What it does offer you is a lot of pace and a moment of brilliance at times. But Nestor Irankunda is almost a prime example of a player who plays as an individual rather than a team. And that has been our issue consistently this season, not playing as a collective rather than playing for themselves. Here's Ngakia on the halfway line. Watford committing a lot of bodies forward here early on. Bove spreads wide, headed on to Luka Kiramgard. It's good play here. Here's Abankwah. What a goal! And what a goal from James Abankwah. And that's excellent football from Watford. A really good goal. A really good goal, that. And you know what? We deserve that. We really do deserve that. What a goal. Let's watch this back. So headed on by Luka. That's not bad at all. Is that Kevin Caben up there as well? What is Abankwah doing all the way up there? What a strike from James Abankwah this is. On his left foot, swivelling as well. A good strike. It's a positive start to the second half. And we deserve the goal. We actually do deserve the goal. I can't believe I'm sitting here saying that. But our performance today has been much better. It has been at a much higher level. But we have seen that throughout this season. We do seem to play better against higher opposition. Teams who leave us a bit more space in behind, we seem to thrive against. It's those at the bottom of the table, the Sheffield Wednesdays, the Blackburns, the Oxfords. That's who we seem to struggle against. But when we do play a Middlesbrough, when we play, I don't know, here's another example. The Ipswich draw away from home was another one earlier this season. When there's space in behind against these better teams, we do seem to thrive. It's been better than I anticipated, George, this formation. Look, I'd still rather we got them 4 players on the pitch, bar Georgie, Irankunda, Mata, absolutely. But yeah, it's been a good level of performance this afternoon. Oh, Matt Targett is on for Middlesbrough. The commentators have confirmed. I didn't see that. And we were linked with Matt Targett a couple of transfer windows ago as well. I think Cleverley wanted to bring him in. And it's probably making the fans here a bit nervous. They are in the fight still for automatics. And that goal has probably scared them a little bit. Here's loser. Ngakia. Still with Ngakia. Good play that. Watford retained possession. Kevin Caben into Mark Boller. There's a good goal. Good goal. Good desire from Abankwah to get on the end of it. Headed on by Luka Kiramgard. Headed on again by Kevin Caben. And then Abankwah sticks away on the swivel turn. So yeah, decent goal from our Irish centre back. Here's Callum Britton over on the right-hand side, looking to overlap. Watford win it back. Kayembe trying to get his body in the way. And Borough here looking to get forward and put a ball into the Watford penalty area. They can't get past though. It's big low block here. Everyone behind the ball at the moment. As we expected, cleared by Matty Pollock with his right foot, headed on by Luka Kiramgard. He picks up the ball and passes into Edu Kayembe. Abankwa is on loan. So he's on loan for the second season. I'd love for us to buy him permanently. Again, I think he's got a lot of potential, and especially with how he progresses the ball from the back, I think he's very useful at times, but I just can't see him being here for a third season on loan. I think it's either going to be we buy him permanently from Udinese, which is unlikely, or actually he goes back there and he starts consistently in the Serie A, Sam. I think that's the more likely scenario for James Abankwa. Oh, Eduardo Bove's just gone down here holding his right hamstring. Looks like he's got an issue here. Muscular injury perhaps. Maybe a bit of cramp. He's just stretching it out on the pitch. Hopefully he'll be okay. It is only his second start at Watford, I believe, this following QPR. Yeah, might have to be taken off here, Eduardo Bove. So an opportunity to get maybe another attacking player on the pitch. Who would you guys go with? You've got lots of options on the bench to choose from. Mama, Iran Kunda, Bar, Doumbia. Tom Ince is there as well if you fancied a bit of Incy. No, who would I bring on? I think Kwadwo Bar is someone I'd like to see again. Mama, though, I think is who I would bring on for Eduardo Bove. He's capable of playing in that 10 slot as well. So yeah, I'd go Mama for Bove if Watford are to make a substitution here. And yeah, they're just showing a replay of the Morgan Whittaker goal. I mean, the curl on that as well. It actually bent outside the post before curling in at the last moment. And then Whittaker picked up the assist for the second as well. And here's Abankwa they're just showing on the replay as well. Really nice finish from James Abankwa. A striker's finish from our centre-back. And yeah, he got Watford back into this game. Someone asked this earlier, Ryan, would Scott Twine come to Watford? I'd love Scott Twine. His set-piece delivery is very, very good and something that would be useful to us. But I think Scott Twine would cost you... I mean, I assume he's still in contract, so it'd cost us upwards of maybe 5 to 7 million if Bristol City were to sell him. So, yeah, of course, he'd probably come if we offered him enough money. Most players would come, right? But I don't think Watford would produce the funds to sign a player like him. All right, set piece here for Borough. Not in shooting distance, it's going to be a cross. Let me just reiterate that for you. Can Watford defend though? Oh, we got a block in there. They're asking for handball. They keep it in possession. Hayden Hackney not playing today. I believe he is injured. I was looking forward to watching him actually. I think he won Championship Player of the Season, Hayden Hackney. A lot of people said Imran Louza should have been in the team ahead of him for Team of the Season, which is maybe slightly controversial, depending on who you support. But yeah, a really good player, Hayden Hackney, and I'm sure he'll do well in the Premier League next season if they can make it there, Borough. And to be honest, if they don't make it to the Premier League, I'm sure someone in mid-table would snap him up. I could see Brentford going for Whittaker. Who else could I see buying him? Like a Nottingham Forest, potentially a Crystal Palace. I think if Wharton goes, I keep saying Whittaker, Hackney, sorry, would be a good buy. Here's Jeremy Sarmiento. And it's 3-1. It's 3-1. And talking about the guy, Morgan Whittaker scores again. 3-1 to Middlesbrough. What a surprise. I mean, it's not a surprise at all, is it? Their fans are loving it. So great play initially by Jeremy Sarmiento. Watford couldn't get near him. Ball into the box. And again, the goal scorer, James Abankwah, arguably not strong enough there. Pretty weak defending from James Abankwah. He does one really good thing. And then up the other end is just a little bit weak for my liking, Abankwah. Oh, God. Get it over and done with. Only half an hour to go. Only half an hour to go. Well, my score prediction's out of the question now anyway, because Watford did get a goal back. I went for 4-0, of course. I still think this could end 4-1, though, if Middlesbrough keep having attempts on goal. It was terrible. It really was a terrible cross. There was no power on it at all. And, James Abankwah lost the duel. That's the story, right? There's not much more to the goal than that, really. Oh. Matty Pollock's there to sweep up. He hoofs up the pitch towards the halfway line. Luca heads on, and there's no one running onto the ball. Middlesbrough regain possession. Here's Luke Ayling from deep, looking for some passing options. Enjoy your coffee, Ryan. I'm sure it'll be better than the football. I'm interested to see what the fan reaction is going to be like today, because look, we're losing. Now we're losing quite heavily, but it's not. It's not the worst. It's not the worst performance I've seen this season. That's the strange thing about today. So, are the players going to be clapped off? Are they going to be booed? Chanted at? It's not for me to say. I've not paid my money to go and watch them, but yeah, I'm interested to see what the reaction will be like from the away end today, and for those fans that travelled. I mean, it's another loss at the end of the day, so quite rightly, they do deserve stick for that. Is it 450, the total, Ryan? I mean, that is a monumental effort for a game that means absolutely zilch at the end of the season. Fair play to every single one of them. Here come Borough again. Can it be 4? Selvik saves at the near post. And they very nearly got a fourth there. Strelec looking for his second. And Morgan Whittaker, let's not forget, he's on a hat-trick now. He's looking for his third goal of today's fixture as well. Oh, Morgan Whittaker strikes the crossbar. Oh my God. I'll tell you what, he is on top form today. What a player. And Watford are now bringing on attacking reinforcements, and 3 of them at that. Iran Kunda, Mama, and Mamadou Doumbia are all coming onto the pitch. Ed still has seen enough, and he is making changes. So Jeremy Ngakia is off. It looks like Watford are going to a back four. I assume maybe James Abankwah will shift over to the right-hand side. Mama has come on for him. Eduardo Bove is coming off the pitch as well. Of course, he had a muscular injury about 10 minutes ago in this game. And Jack Greaves is coming on as well here. Looks like it's going to be 4 changes at once for Watford. Jack Greaves coming onto the pitch too, which is good to see. I really like Jack Greaves. I think he's a tidy player. And if anyone from the academy is going to make it in our team, it's going to be him. So I'm not opposed to that at all. Jack Greaves coming on. I don't know where Doumbia has disappeared to. I'm sure I saw him standing on the touchline. But yeah, triple change by Watford. Whittaker coming off. I thought they'd keep him on actually because he was on a hat-trick. He's coming off the pitch though to, quite rightly, a standing ovation. He's been superb today. They brought him in from Plymouth Argyle for quite a significant transfer fee. And yeah, Tommy Conway, again, another dangerous striker who I really like. He's come onto the pitch for Borough. Yeah, I forgot about that, George, actually. He is from this area of the country. And Hansen coming off as well. Castledine coming on. Watford were linked with him as well in the January transfer window. Leo Castledine from Chelsea. I think this is going to end 4 or 5-1 is a feeling I've got. But yeah, unlucky from Whittaker. Should have got a hat-trick really. His last effort in the game, hitting the bar. So yeah, 4 changes for Watford. Mama, Iran Kunda, Doumbia and Jack Greaves are on. Ngakia, Bove, Kiramgard and Papi Mendy are off. There we go, confirmation for you. I can feel the hiccups coming. Happens every watch long. I always get the hiccups. I always do. But yeah, crazy. I mean, after today, the next watch long of the season will be in August, which is months away. So yeah, a little bit sad the watch longs are ending for this season. But on the other hand as well, I have been watching Watford defeats every single week. So yeah, maybe I should be happy instead. As I said earlier though, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be here throughout the summer talking about whoever our new head coach may be, transfers, speculation, the World Cup, fixtures, kits. I'll be here to cover it all. So yeah, I won't be going anywhere once the season has concluded. And I'm sure we can get Luca Bendoni back on as well from Sky Sports to talk all things Watford in the transfer window. I won't do any World Cup watch-alongs because yeah, it's not Watford related. But it'll be good to get away from Watford, if anything, through Tube. I could do watch-alongs potentially for Watford players if they're involved. So if Australia is playing, I could do a watch-along for that. That might be fun. Like Iran Kunda, or if Loser and Mama get called up to Morocco, I could do a watch-along for that. I've not thought about it too much yet, but it's an option. It's an option if enough people want to watch. It depends when the fixtures are as well. I don't really want to be staying up until 2 a.m. to watch Iran Kunda for Australia. Here's Tommy Conway taking on Othmane Mama. Conway still driving into the penalty area, and Middlesbrough just overplaced slightly there. A poor touch in the end from Strelic, and it goes out for a Watford goal kick. Egil Selvik has the ball. Oh. So I think the games are for the World Cup. I think it might be, is it 7 p.m.? It might be 5 p.m., 7 p.m., 9 p.m., 11 p.m., and then 2 a.m. I think those are the slots for the games. Um, so yeah, it's very sporadic as to how they're spread out. And America is a huge, country as well, isn't it? So yeah, they have different time zones over there: Pacific, Eastern. So yeah, it's going to be a bit hard to work out the scheduling for certain fixtures. So we're just approaching about 20, 22, 23 minutes to go here at the Riverside. It looks unlikely that Watford will get back into this one. We have put some more exciting players on the pitch now, though. Ed Steele finally deciding to take a risk. Here's Jack Reeves. Jack Reeves driving forwards. Looked like he was fouled potentially there. The referee says play on. Here's Doumbia. Good hold-up play. Jack Reeves, you got to run forward, my friend. Well done. Cuts back inside. And looks to play enough Mane Mama. And it's an overhit pass from Jack Reeves. Yeah, I don't think Watford are going to get back into this game through Tube. I'd like to get back to Spurs, actually, Ryan. I went to our loss in the Premier League. That was 21-22. I think Son scored a last-minute free kick. I was at the stadium for that. And then I went to the Tottenham Stadium earlier this season in September because I'd never seen a Champions League match before. So I thought I'd try and tick that off my list. And I went and saw Tottenham versus Villarreal, which was not very entertaining. It only ended 1-0 to Spurs. But yeah, I've always wanted to see a European Champions League match, and yeah, I thought I would go to the Tottenham Stadium. And don't get me wrong, it's a lovely ground, but it will look very out of place in the Championship, especially when like Lincoln go there, for example, as well. Lincoln will be fun. Cardiff, I think they're back up, aren't they, as well at this point? So yeah, I'm looking forward to next season. We've got Wolves, Burnley, hopefully Tottenham coming down. It'll be Tottenham or West Ham at this point, you'd have to assume. So another London club. And then yeah, Lincoln, that'll be fun. I'm sure a lot of Watford fans will want to tick that off their lists. And then Cardiff as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to next season, even if Watford are going to be bad again. It's nice to see some new teams. Yeah, this game's got a bit tedious now. There's not too much happening at the moment since them substitutions were made. Here comes Tommy Conway, though, down the left-hand side, looking to cut in and take on James Abankwah. Oh, Conway does really well here. What a player. Oh, Castledine strikes. Saved by Selvik. And it was a good save as well from Leo Castledine. Or Castledine, however you say it. And it all started from great play by Tommy Conway down this left-hand side, holding up the ball, holding off Mane Mama. And yeah, Middlesbrough producing a couple of efforts on goal there, forcing Selvik into a save. And there's just less than 20 minutes to go now in this one. Do subscribe if you are new around here as well. It would be very much appreciated. And if you don't want to subscribe, at the very least, if you could leave me a big thumbs up on the stream, that would be greatly appreciated. Well, a lot of people say, Ryan, that QPR is a derby game, but I don't count QPR as a derby. The only game I count as a derby is Luton, that team up the road. So yeah, if they came up next season, at least that would make for another couple of exciting fixtures, I guess. think they're just outside of the playoffs, aren't they, at the moment, Luton? Here's Imran Loser. Doumbia dropping very deep. You know what? My spidey senses are telling me that Doumbia is going to score a goal here. And Tommy Conway nearly gets one himself. Doumbia gives the ball away. Commentator's curse. Sorry about that. And yeah, Conway through on goal. And Matty Pollock gets a good block in there. What a striker. I wish we had a player like that. He can do a bit of everything. He can hold up the ball, turn, take it down, run at players, use his skills. He's got a bit of pace. Just feels like all our strikers are very one-dimensional at Watford. So Middlesbrough corner after Matty Pollock blocked Conway's shot. And there's a handball and it's a penalty. It's a penalty to Middlesbrough. I didn't see who committed the offence, but the referee spotted something here. Let's see if we can see it in the replay. Where's the handball? I can't even see the handball. Is it Matty Pollock? Oh, it's James Abankwah. I tell you what, he scored the goal at Abankwah, but he has had a stinker after that. So Borough here with an opportunity to make it 4-1. It looks like Conway is going to take it as well. So Tommy Conway versus Egil Selvik here. Selvik in the blue, Conway in the Borough red. Who's going to come out on top? Who cares? They're going to win anyway, Middlesbrough. This is just put the icing on top of the cake. The cherry on top of the cake. Here's Conway stepping up to take it. Can Conway stick this away? And he does. He slots it past Egil Selvik. He goes to the right. Selvik goes the correct way. But there was too much power and precision on that. And Middlesbrough are now 4-1 up against Watford. Let's get the score changed. And, you know, well spotted by the referee. It was a handball from James Abankwah. And yeah, penalty to Middlesbrough. I can't remember the last time Watford had a penalty, to be honest. I mean, can they go and get a fifth and a sixth? They've got 15 minutes to do so. Can they embarrass Watford further? And what started out to be a performance with a lot of potential has turned out to be, unfortunately, a battering, really. So Strelic, Conway and Whittaker at the double have Watford behind. It really does free Tube. I mean, I said the priority this summer has to be recruiting another, you know, certain first team starting centre-back. We've got to spend a bit of money on someone to come in and complement and partner Matty Pollock. You know, I enjoyed when they were here, Wesley Hoot and Ryan Porteous. Now, Ryan Porteous was the weaker of the two centre-backs, but their attributes complemented each other. You had Wesley Hoot with his left foot, and then Ryan Porteous was kind of the aggressor, the destroyer, and then Wesley Hoot was there to kind of clean up at the back when required. What we have this season is just a mismatch of different physiques, personalities, attributes. Mendy, foremost Mendy, Goglachitse, Abankwah, Caben. It's so chaotic at the back, isn't it? We just need a consistent pairing who we know can be fit 80% of the time, and they put in 6.5, 7s out of 10 week in, week out. That's all we want as fans, and that has to be a big priority for Watford this summer when it comes to defensive recruitment. Castledine with the ball back in. Watford defending here, and the referee's blown up for a foul on... Who is that? A bank was gone down. I think everyone's in agreement now that Matty Pollock, should be a starter for us long term. Yes, he's not really, really high in terms of talent, but what he does have is a desire and a want to play for the club. And he's so vocal as well. Whenever I'm at Vicarage Road, all I can hear is Matty Pollock screaming, shouting instructions at our players to get into position, stay focused. That's all I hear from Matty. So for me, that has to be a huge priority for us in the next couple of months, and hopefully they identify that. I don't want us to bring in another, Udinese loanee, a foreign player I've not heard of. I want someone who has championship experience, who is mid to late 20s, early 30s, and who can do a job for the foreseeable future. That's all I want. Now that costs a bit of money. It costs a bit of dough. Gino Pozzo won't want to spend that. But if he doesn't want Watford to fall into disrepute, then I think it has to be done. Doumbia commits a foul here, according to the referee. I'm not sure I agree with that. Or Doumbia went down, looking for the penalty, I think, and the referee waved it away. And here come Borough again. Tommy Conway down the left-hand side, finding himself in lots of space. And the ball has slightly too much on it. And it's kept in play by Borough. Looked like it was going out for a throw. And yeah, the substitutions made by Ed Still, unfortunately. Iran Kunda, Mama Doumbia, Jack Greaves have not had too many opportunities to get on the ball and run forward since they come onto the pitch. I'd love Deitch, VJ, and a lot of people say Deitch. A lot of people have suggested bringing Deitch back to the club. But let's remember, Gino Pozzo was the person who sat Deitch when he was at Watford originally. He's not going to come back and work with this ownership. Sean Deitch is someone who likes his own authority. He wants control over recruitment. And he plays a really specific brand of football. And with this bunch of players, I just don't think he is the right mould. As I said, it's so difficult to think of a name who will suit our current structure at the moment. As I said, Mourinho could come in, Guardiola, Klopp, Alonso, Xavi. It could be any manager in world football. Ancelotti, I don't care. None of them will succeed at Watford whilst we continue in the same vein. We have to have a massive restructuring and rethink about how we operate as a football club this summer. I want to see, and I'll be honest here, I want to see Duxbury lose his position. I want Gino to have the balls to say, Juan Lucanani, it's not good enough. You need to go. If Gino Pozzo's not going to go, what I want him to do is clear everyone else out below him. That's what I'd like to see as a fan. And if he did that and reset our expectations, then I think we would all get back on side, or at least some fans would anyway, because at least there's a bit of a plan and an idea as to how we're going to operate moving forward. What will happen in reality, in my opinion, is Ed Still will manage Coventry, lose that game. A day later, we'll get a club statement, Ed Still sacked due to inconsistent results. We'll bring in a new man in, everyone will retain their jobs, and we'll go again as we were in August. I just can't see, until the evidence is in front of me that Gino Pozzo has changed, I won't believe it's going to happen. I really won't. Rant over. Not long to go until the game's finished, everyone. 81 minutes played, 9 to go of normal time, plus whatever else is added on. Tom Ince is coming on now. It's not very inspiring, is it? Mark Boller off. He's another player who needs to go this summer, Tom Ince. We can't be renewing his contract. We really can't. He is, again, it is someone who turns up once in a blue moon. He'll score the hat-trick against Birmingham City. And then when you really need to rely on your senior players, he just puts in stinkers. He's lost the pace he did have. His shots and passes I find quite tame. He's not physical enough, Tom Ince. So, yeah, like with Kayembe and like with others as well, he's a player who I'd get rid of this summer. Chris Davis, yeah, you know what? I wouldn't be opposed to that. But again, my question to you is, would he be able to cope with how we operate? I don't think he would. We love a rant. We do love a rant, FreeTube. I absolutely do. Um, yeah, I do love a good ramble. Ugh. As soon as this match is over, I'm outside enjoying the sunshine. That's my plan for the afternoon. What's everyone up to this weekend? We're losing 4-1, so we may as well turn the conversation to you. Is anyone up to anything interesting? You having a takeaway? Are you going to the cinema? Let me know. I'm interested to hear what you're up to. Oh, have a stretch, roll my shoulders. Don't forget to like the stream as well. Give me a big thumbs up down below. And if you are new around here, it would be greatly appreciated if you could hit the subscribe button down below as well. Takeaway, if your bets come in, what takeaway do you fancy? Are you a traditional fish and chips? Are you a Chinese guy? Do you love an Indian? Let me know, FreeTube. I think we're having a takeaway next weekend. We only get one a month usually, around payday. So yeah, next weekend is when we'll get one. Here come Borough. Oh, it's a stupid foul from Imran Loser. It really is. A petulant foul. Loser's pushing and shoving now as well. He does have this in him, Imran Loser. He has a bit of bite, a bit of fight, and he's going to get himself probably a yellow card here. I don't remember the referee booking anyone actually in today's game. I think the referee has had a really good performance. I'm happy to admit that, even when I'm on the losing side. Oliver just tuned in. Tune out, Oliver. Honestly, don't bother. Do not worry. Yeah, 4-1. You went for a 2-0 defeat, Oliver, when we spoke earlier. I went for a 4-0 loss. So, yeah, Watford got a consolation goal, but even still, that's not enough to save us at the Riverside today. I think Loser will go... Where will he go next season? I reckon to like a Brentford. Imran Loser would suit FreeTube. Like a lower Prem mid-table side, of Fulham maybe as well. Rejoining Marco Silva, I could see that. Yeah, Fulham or Brentford is where I think Loser's level is. I don't think he's capable of being at one of the very top clubs. He'll never go to a Man City, a Liverpool, anywhere like that, Imran Loser. But yeah, mid to lower mid-table Premier League is a good level for him. I mean, he'll earn loads of money. He'll earn probably 80 to 100,000 pounds a week in the Premier League, Imran Loser, which is far more than he's on at Watford. West Ham, if they stay up, that's a good shout actually. Here is Imran, spreads wide to find Othmane Mama, who was looking across the line and still finds himself in an offside position, according to the linesman on this near side. And yeah, it's lazy from Mama. He's literally looking right across the line and is still a good half a yard off. So, yeah, not good. That's controversial, VJ. You don't think Imran Loser would get in any Premier League side? I think Loser would have to play in a midfield three. I just don't think he's physical enough to play in, like, I don't know, let's say there's a 4-4-2 and Loser's alongside, if we look at West Ham, Thomas Souček. I don't think Loser has the ability to dominate that midfield on his own. I think he has to be almost like the deeper of the three, or actually the more advanced, I should argue. Yeah. Look at this, that the Borough fans are literally doing like the Poznan in the stands. Unbelievable. Kim Hellberg looking pleased there with his side. Gilbert's on the floor for Borough. He's got up, ready to continue. Can they get a fifth? That's the question. That would be embarrassing for Watford and would ruin what was, in the early stages, a decent performance, actually. But it's just gone wrong as the time has progressed. Loser into Kayembe. Jack Greaves now. Turns inside. Finds Doumbia. Here's Imran. Kayembe. Plays a 1-2. So this would be, if I recollect correctly, our 4th straight defeat and would only be our 3rd goal scored in 7 matches, which is that's terrible. I mean, that is a terrible run of results for any manager, let alone at Watford. So, you know, the writing is on the wall. If he's not sacked after today, Ed still will be sacked after Coventry City. I think the only reason Ed is still in there at the moment is because he's taking the flack away just for a bit from Gino Pozzo and Scott Duxbury. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, Oliver. And just before I go as well, it's the last watch along of the season. A massive shout out to anyone who has watched or contributed throughout the last months. A big shout out to our channel members and our subscribers as well. I wouldn't do this without you watching. And yeah, look, we'll go again back in August. As I said, I'll be live over the summer, talking all things Watford, transfer news, manager news, the World Cup as well. I'm sure a few of our players will feature in that. So I won't be going anywhere. I'll be here, I'm sure, every week throughout May, June and July. And yeah, looking ahead to the 2026-27 season as well. So yeah, once again, a big thank you for everyone's continued support. Six minutes added time. Oh my God. I've got to watch another 6 minutes of this. Bloody hell. 6 more minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Strap in. Strap in. I think we are allowed to give Ed criticism though, George. Like, we can call out mistakes the head coach makes, but yeah, I agree with you. Look, no manager is going to succeed in our current environment. You know, I agree with you that the blame has to go on, you know, those at the top of our football club, but the players aren't immune from criticism, and neither is Ed as well. You know, I'm very much able to criticize both sides of the coin. Is that a saying? I don't know, but you get what I mean. Here's Tommy Conway. Can he make it 5? He cuts back inside, and it is 5. It is 5. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing now. And he's scored a 5th goal, Tommy Conway. I knew he'd score because he's looked electric since he come on, and that was obvious. 5-1 now. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And it's a shame as well because when a bank was scored and made it 2-1, I sat here and said, I actually think we've been okay today. I don't think we've been as bad as, you know, other people are making out. We've put in a decent performance. We've created lots of chances, but they've been ruthless in attack. They've been clinical in attack, Borough. And the bank were there, getting done again. Tommy Conway, I mean, it's very simply just runs forward, a lovely pass, cuts back inside on his right foot, and he slots past Egil Selvik. He gives him the eyes, he goes the opposite way, and he puts Middlesbrough 5-1 up at the Riverside. Let's get the score changed for one last time this season. Middlesbrough 5, Watford 1. And this is not a one-year rebuild. Let's make that very clear. This is going to take a huge restructuring of the club to get this squad back to where it needs to be. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. 5-1. Embarrassing. I feel sorry for those that went. I really do. It's a long journey. There was train cancellations this morning as well. I think them fans should be recompensated, actually, if them players had any balls on them. I mean, it's just ridiculous. We follow them up and down the country every single week, and we get served with an absolute shit, quite frankly. And there we go. It is what it is. I've had plenty of rambles today, but that goal sealed it for me. Absolutely, absolutely ridiculous. It really is. Here's Iran Kunda. A big shout out to Oliver, a member for 5 months. There's a couple of you who have been members for well over 12 months as well, which is really appreciated indeed. Thank you, George. Appreciate the kind words. Only 2.5 minutes to go, and then we can forget about it. Go out and enjoy the sunshine. Looks a lovely weekend. The next week or so looks nice from a weather perspective here in the UK. So go out, enjoy the sunshine, breathe in some fresh air, touch grass. Here comes Conway again. Oh, Watford win the ball back. Here's Jack Greaves. Mama plays it quickly. Jack Greaves can't get on the end of it. I am Oliver. I am going to Coventry because I've paid for my season tickets. So, of course I'll be there. But I'm not going to stay, I don't think, for the lap of honour, if you want to call it that. I think I'll be leaving very much at full time rather than watching the end of season awards. Thank you for the gifted membership, VJ, and I can see Mr. Watford Boy received that from YouTube there. So thank you very much for that, VJ. Really appreciate it. And yeah, as I said, don't worry. I'm not going to be going anywhere. I'll be live throughout the summer, making videos, live streams. I'm sure Luca Bendoni and Anthony Joseph from Sky Sports will be back on as well, talking all things transfers. So keep an eye out for that. I'm always trying to get ex-pros, players and staff members on as well. It just takes time. They're very busy people. And it's just about trying to fit them in where their schedules allow. So I'm sure I'll fill the gaps over the summer accordingly. Oliver says the lap of shit, much like, I don't think many people will be staying for the lap of honour. 30 seconds to go. Come on. Get it over and done with, Watford. 30 seconds to go. Yes. What a team. What a team. I'm so proud of you. Yes. Embarrassing. I am embarrassed. I don't want to wear my Watford shirt in public anymore. Do you know what I mean? Oh, here come Borough. Can I get a 6th goal here before we head off? Tommy Conway keeps it in play. He's being chased by Jack Greaves. He commits a foul, and it's a free kick to Borough. This will be the last chance of the game. Jack Greaves gives it away. And the referee's actually not going to let them take it. It's full time. Borough 5, Watford 1. Ed Steele shakes the hand of Kim Hellberg. Wow. Conway at the double. Whittaker at the double. Strelic with a goal just before half-time as well. Where do I begin with that? Look, I think for me, up to the point where a bank was scored, the performance was fine. You know, against the side chasing automatic promotion, I can take losing. I can absolutely take losing. I've seen plenty of losses before, and I'll take this loss again on the chin today. Let me just stop the timer for a second. Look, I can take losing today. What I can't take again is just, you know, the third goal, the fourth goal, the fifth goal. How do I articulate this without going too far? I just think that the club needs massive change. We really do. The association with Mogi Bayat has to stop. And Ed Still is part of that as well. Now, it's not his fault. Ed Still was recommended to the club and to Gino by Mogi. But I think anyone associated with him as an agent has to go. Juan-Luca Nani is like a stinky smell that doesn't disappear. He's got to go. Valon Barami, I loved him as a player, but since January he's disappeared. He was very happy to sit with Paulo during his tenure. He was very happy to sit with Javi during the January transfer window. But Barami is just like the rest of them. He's a coward because he's not coming out to speak publicly to us. Where are you, Valon? I would urge you to come forward and speak to us as fans and be transparent. Duxbury has to go as well. How can Gino Pozzo keep someone in his position who is consistently failing at his job? Where I'm at now is that clearly, as it stands, Gino as an owner isn't going to leave, okay? Unless a massive offer comes in or we achieve Premier League promotion, Gino isn't going to leave the club. So the only thing he can do to salvage this for me and get fans back on side, as I said, is a total restructuring of our football and operations. They need to sit down, look at themselves in the mirror and go and undergo a period of real self-reflection, in my opinion. Look, Ed Still can take the blame for the result today. The players can as well. They have to do better on the pitch. I don't doubt that, and I agree with all of you that say that. But you have to remember as well, you know, these players, these people, these staff members are human. They're human beings, and they will be affected by this culture, this energy, the chopping and changing of head coaches. That will get to these players. They will be really frustrated by that. If you're in a workplace, if you're in a business, so let's say I work in an office, for example, and my manager, the person supervising me, changes every 3 months. If the owner isn't looking after me, you know, making sure I'm okay, that would become really frustrating. The same can be said for professional sport as well. They're athletes. They're highly paid. But money only takes you so far. You still need to feel motivated to play for the club. You still need to feel, you know, part of a project, and it's no surprise to me that they don't, this group of players. So they have to take the blame. Of course they do, because they're out on the pitch performing for us. But it's not really on them. It's not on Ed. They've been put into a situation which they struggle to deal with. I think anyone would struggle to deal with being employed by Watford at the moment. So I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. Appreciate your time. Richard says, great job with the stream, James. Oliver says, I'll stay, but I'll be booing. So Oliver is heading to the Coventry game as well. Hopefully I'll see you there. VJ with the super chat. Appreciate that. Oliver says there is a protest next week. I have seen this. Look, from what I gather so far, it was organised very quickly after the West Brom defeat. And, you know, personally, as someone who runs quite a large community and has a large following, I'm only really willing to promote something. And best of luck to those that attend this protest. But I'm only willing to promote something if I can see there's proper organisation. What I don't want to do would be for me to promote something that then turns violent, and then that comes back on me. I don't want to do that. So I'm all for fans protesting in their own ways. And if you want to attend the protest next week, I'm not going to stop you. Feel free to go. Absolutely. But for me, it needs to require a bit more planning. There needs to be more information about what the goal is for the protest, where you start, where you finish, what is the messaging behind it. If that happened and people pose that idea to me, then absolutely, I'm happy to promote that, across all my social platforms. I think when you take all my followers into account, I've got well over 20,000 now, 20,000 Watford fans, which is, a big influence to have. But I don't take that lightly at all. I have to be responsible and respectful. And when it comes to protests as well, they have to operate within the realms of UK law. And I'm not suggesting the one next week won't do that. I'm sure they absolutely will. But I need to see a bit more planning and thought process behind it. So, yeah, as I said, I'm willing to support anything anyone suggests. I have renewed my season ticket. If you don't want to renew yours out of protest to the ownership, then absolutely, that's down to you. If you want to buy next season's kits, you can do that. If you don't want to, that's absolutely fine as well. As I said, it's not for me to dictate to you as to how you should support the club. If the fans at Middlesbrough today want to clap the players off, they can do, because they've paid their money. If they want to swear at them and boo them off, they can do, because they've paid their money to go. That's where I'm at with Watford at the moment. I just feel like I'm running out of energy now. And I think it's right, the season is coming to a close. I just feel sadness as to how our football club has become what it is today. It's not what I started supporting when I was a kid. Gone are the days of, Agallo, Vidra, Deeney, Ben Watson, Guardiola, Gomez, players I adored. They were my heroes growing up. When I look at this incarnation currently, I don't relate to them at all. I really don't relate to them at all, other than Matty and Mark Boller potentially. I just don't feel that same energy from the players reciprocated back to the fan base. So I'll leave it there. That was my final ramble on the final watch along of the season. As I said, just a massive thank you at home for watching. Your support is really appreciated, and I wouldn't do this if no one was watching. So I'll see you in August for the 26-27 season. If you want to keep up to date with all of the latest news in the summer, you can do so by following all our social platforms. We'll still be here on YouTube, but we're also on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, Threads, and TikTok as well. I don't think I've forgotten anything there. So you can follow us across all social platforms. And I'll see you again very, very soon. It ends Middlesbrough 5, Watford 1. Go and enjoy your weekend, enjoy the sunshine, and I'll be at Coventry on the final day, hopefully to see a few of you there as well. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.